Alright. Shalom, shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Achak, Wadak. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of great wisdom who over pushing 100% on the gospel, making up and sealing the elect of nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh. And salutations to all your sincere Akim, as they are pushing this gospel in all righteousness and all sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Alright. And this is your brother Abawan, and come back again with another camp, on the highways and byways. You're bringing out this word of gospel, okay, this word of truth, the word of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh, which of course Yahweh is the full name of, is the full and the true name of the Heavenly Father, the creator of heaven and earth, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, the God which the scriptures speak of. And Yahweh is only because in some the world ignorantly and willfully calls Jesus Christ, and the Rachak Wadak the Holy Spirit. Right, I think I'm going to have to move this camera a little bit because they're really trying to pick up again. Now I always come out here, and it's always windy in this country, man. Anyway, maybe I should move the camera. That's why I decided this will not fall. Yeah, okay, much better. Alright, so there you have it. Like I can see, windy as hell. But anyway, and actually, before I actually started, I don't have to go into something very real quickly. The rot continues because before I came out here today, I was watching a few videos, watching videos from brothers and watching other videos as well, news articles and the like. And I heard about the news that Joe Biden gave I don't know whether it was an executive order, but basically he made a decree, alright, that any country that illegalizes the same-sex marriage and the alphabet lifestyle will be banned from. They'll put travel bans on them. Okay, so you have some Nigerians coming out talking about how they want to reject. All right, that decree that's making the decree that is wicked. Okay, they're making the decree that is against the democracy, against the country's sovereignty. And there was a whole video going into that. Maybe I'll repost that video. Maybe I'll do an extra lesson later. What I wanted to go into was that there are no more moral grounds in this. It's like there are no more moral laws in this kingdom. Because the reason I say moral grounds is because I was thinking about that same way they say that you have the moral high ground, but there are no longer any moral laws, especially in Babylon. Okay, in this wicked ass kingdom, man. Right? Because here in Nigeria, it's illegal for you to for you to have those types of relations. Okay, you spend what the minimum sentence is 14 years in prison. Alright, imprisonment, which of course that's a light sentence compared to what should actually happen to you. And I'm just going to leave it at that because you know how Esau is when they love defending this alphabet lifestyle. Okay, but that's what you should expect in this wicked ass kingdom. So let me get my first precept. The first precept I'll actually get is a precept, and they actually put out this precept when they were discussing because. Alright, America, okay, Babylon the Great, as much as they like to, as much as these America, Babylon the Great, they'll tell you, swear up and down, they'll swear up and down that they are a Christian nation. They swear their presidents on the Bible, okay. And when you go to court, and when you go to court, they swear you on the Bible, which of course is going off. We already know that. What I'm actually trying to say is that you swear on the Bible, okay, you ask you swear on the you swear on the Bible. You inaugurate your president, all right, on the Bible, and so you have to get that word inauguration. Because I think it's actually going into something else. So just quickly look for it. So I can just quickly jump to that word inauguration. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that this is why you need extra brothers. This is why you need brothers actually in the areas and byways. Like one of us could have just gone into that word inauguration, and I could have continued going into what I was going into. But I have to pause the whole thing just to get that word inauguration. It's now shame, man. But the time is already coming to an end. Pretty soon I'll actually have brothers around me, every single time. And that's why in the kingdom, man. Brothers, righteous men, But anyway, going into the word inauguration. basically, no, that I see, I see, I see. Okay. Basically, that word inauguration is going into a ritual, okay? Because that's what that inauguration ceremony is. It's a ritual, okay? Putting the next demon that will rule over Babylon, okay? Because now, they claim to be a God-fearing nation, they claim to be a Christian nation, but look at what your president is decreeing. He's putting out, he's exacting what unrighteous decrees out here, okay? Because that's all Esau does. And actually, it's taking me to the other video that I watched, okay? The brother, so like, I don't know whether he's a brother or an elder, but basically, the brother Yashalam that does the GMS Watchman videos. And he put up a video a day ago about I forget the name, but I think it was somebody's beach. I forgot the name, but it was. Let me just check out the video. He basically was going into the beachfront property that was stolen, from Jake by Esau. And this is a story as old as time, man. Where Jake has property and Esau just takes it from them, just because let me get that preset as well. Let me get that preset. Just because it's in their power of their hand to do so. That is Micah. That's the book of Micah right there. Alright, but let me go to that. Let me go to that one first. Bruce's Beach. That was the title of the video. Bruce's Beach. Okay. So now let me go to beach. So okay, I didn't want people to start confusing it with that other B word. Okay. It is a beach. Okay. The one that with the sun and the ocean, not the other one that you're thinking about. All right. So this book of Micah 2, verse 1, and it reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage." And this is exactly what Esau is doing. This decrease, man. Because now, they say that, okay, we are putting sanctions on you if you refuse to support our wickedness, if you refuse to support wickedness, if you refuse to support wickedness and stand for righteousness, okay? That's how they start. They talk about things like LGBT alphabet people, okay? That's an unrighteous decree right there to actually defend that kind of lifestyle, because it's wicked, okay? It's an abomination against the Most High. I can go into the different pieces to prove that, but that's the facts, okay? And then on the other hand, you have these devils, man, stealing from our people, okay, stealing what is rightfully ours, or what is rightfully Jake's, okay, because these people, okay, the Bruces, they bought that property with they bought that property, and Esau just took it from them, and to this day, has still not returned that property back to its rightful owners, okay. And of course, you have a few reports talking about it. You have a few people screaming injustice, but nothing is actually ever done, okay. And that's just showing you that even though this the whole thing with that cop, Derek Chauvin, even though he was incarcerated and put in jail, that doesn't mean anything for you Israelites. It's not one step closer to being equal with the white man, with Edomites in their society. It doesn't change anything for our people, okay. We are still in the same place that we were, and will continue to be there if our people refuse to come back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because at the end of the day, the only person that can change anything for us in this kingdom is Yahweh Shai. Alright, but going back to what I was talking about, going back to the main topic, there are no moral laws in this kingdom, and Esau, in fact, there are no laws in this kingdom. Esau can go around and do as he pleases, okay? He can do whatever he wants to you people, you heathen, even you lower level Edomites, and especially you Israelites, okay? Are you being the bottom of the barrel? Everybody can do as they please to you. Alright, every time that something bad happens, okay, it's always happening to Jake. Okay, all the injustices are always being brought up against Jake, okay? But it's always being brought up, all the injustices, it's always being done against our people, okay, against Jake, all throughout history, going from captivity to captivity, going from slavery to slavery, having our kingdom destroyed, our people scattered and forgotten exactly who they were. Because now all these other nations, they have their relics, okay, they have their artifacts to still remind them of who they were, okay. Ham still has the pyramids, okay, he still has Ethiopia, Kush, and he still has the North Africa, which is the food, they still have all those things, okay. Japan still has their own relics. Esau, they still have Petra, they still have Rome, ruins of Rome. Alright, Moab and Ammon, they still have their own relics, they still have their own ancient artifacts, okay? The Moabite gods and all that. But what about Israel? Okay, what about you Israelites? So what do you have? Okay? Because whatever little artifacts that we have, they've already been destroyed, okay? They already had what's the about what iconoclasm. Alright, they've already been whitewashed to make it look like it was Edomites that were there instead of Jake. You know what relics do our people have of Israel, you know? That religion has been completely taken away from us. Right? And what? These devils, man, and these people out there, they know exactly these devils, they knew exactly who we were. They knew who they were oppressing. Okay? They knew that when they were coming down to, you know, like for example, Christopher Cologne, he knew he was cool, he was actually up. I know what it's like I'm going into something else. Let me just stop right there and come back to what I was actually speaking about, you know. There's no, the laws going into morality in the scriptures. They're not being upheld here in Babylon, you know. Alright, they're not being upheld here in Babylon. You know, the wickedness is fully legalized. Okay, it's allowed. People are allowed to be as wicked as they want, to do all kinds of wickedness. That's why adultery isn't illegal. Infidelity, okay. When you vow, and the funny thing is that you go to these marriages and they'll tell you that they vow before God and men to be faithful. Okay, to stay with the wife, with that single wife until death do them part. But yet, when either when the woman cheats, all right, or even if it's the man that cheats, okay, because you already know you already know that adultery can only be committed if you have sex with a married woman, okay. Whether as a man, you can only commit adultery if you have sex with a woman that's already married or engaged, all right. But you have these women, and it's almost always these women that are cheating. Okay, you have them cheat and nothing happens to them. They don't even a slap on the wrist, man. They even get praised, okay? Adultery is glorified in this kingdom. Still, that whole Mr. Steal your girl attitude, that take another man's property. That's idolized. That's praised, that's glorified in this kingdom. To show you how wicked this place is, man. I'm trying to I'm trying to think of a preset I can bring out concerning this, okay? No more morality out here, man. Everybody just wicked as hell. I'm trying to think of a preset I can bring out, concerning this matter. So let me just go to a few laws. Let me just go to a few laws concerning morality. And it's very easy to bring out laws concerning sexual immorality, because that is one of the ones that is most, especially in this kingdom, man. That's the highest. That's one of the things that always bring us, especially in this kingdom. Alright, because there's also what spiritual immorality when you go and worship other gods, which of course Babylon is 100% fully for. It's fully for that you can worship whatever god that you like. But yet they'll call it a Christian nation, and okay, even though the laws in the scripture say that thou shalt have no other gods before the Most High, okay, before Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. But we already know the God that they worship, and that's not the Most High, okay. So them calling themselves a Christian nation, that's wickedness in itself, okay. That's even more reason why Babylon should be destroyed. Because how can you call yourself a Christian nation when you don't even keep the laws, statutes or commandments or anything like that, okay? How can you call yourself a Christian nation when you don't even serve the God of the Bible, okay? You don't even serve His Son, and of course you can't even if you wanted to, because it is a nation that was made by Edomites, okay? A nation that was made by Esau, and they cannot. I'm trying to figure out. There's a picture I want to get. Let me bring it out. That is in the book of Proverbs. Don't favor be shown to the wicked. Okay. go intend to bring it out. Let's favor be shown to the wicked. Yes, we will not learn righteousness. Okay. Isaiah 26 verse 10. Let favor be shewed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly. I will not behold the majesty of Yahweh. Okay? And that's exactly what you see happening with these Edomites. Because here they'll talk about how they stand for the laws and the requirements of the Most High. They'll swear on the Bible, talking about how they are Christians and all that. But yet, they still continue to commit wickedness. Okay? Every single law. Right? They go against every single law that's in the scriptures, okay? They completely go off, okay? Go against the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But yeah, they want to call them still, but yeah, they want to say that but yeah, they still want to, they still make the stance that they are a Christian nation. They still want you to believe that they are a Christian nation. How is that even possible, man? How can you call yourself a Christian nation when you don't even keep the laws, statutes, or any of the commandments of the Most High? Alright? You know? Because there's no longer any laws in this society. You know, this is something that and even the constitution, you know, they don't even go with they don't even keep that constitution, man. But that's going into something else. Another thing I wanted to talk about was, you know, this whole matter of putting restrictions on countries that don't support that don't support alphabet lifestyle. But what what right does Babylon have with that? You know, this is a country that calls itself, you know, the land of the free and all that, you know, liberty, you know, wanting a free world and all that. Yet, right, yet you're forcing your own doctrine, forcing your own decrees on these other nations, man. You know, putting pressure on them to putting pressure on them to follow your laws, to follow your ways. But this is what Esau has always done. And they may or may not repeal the law on the alphabet lifestyle. They may or may not do it. You know, that doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, you know, whatever the Nigerian government decides, it will not really matter, because Esau's main agenda, you know, his final agenda is the MOP. It is that new world order. It's that great reset, okay? And once that great reset hits, man, guess what? You know, of course, we're not going to get to that point, but if that great reset ever hits, you know, the alphabet lifestyle will be all over the earth. You know, everybody will be pushing that wickedness, right? And that's the funny thing about this Esau's kingdom, man. Esau, you know, when it comes to righteousness, he lets everybody do it, you know. Esau allowing an underage child, a 9-year-old child, you know, 5-year-old child, you know. Let me get that, you know. Like, a good example would be Dwayne Wade's son, to change their agenda, okay, to change their plumbing, to change the way that they are, even though they aren't capable of making decisions. But you know, suddenly, okay, but suddenly you know what I want to talk about now, but I'm not sure whether the algorithm will allow it. Okay, but what I want to say is, you know, going into dealing with a so-called underage woman, okay, that's illegal. You know, you're dealing with, say, 60-year-old or 50-year-old, you know. Let me put the age, let me raise age a little bit up, so that these people out here, man, you know how Jake gets, okay. You know, they love that Babylon Jew so much, but dealing with those kind of women now as a grown man, that's wickedness. But yet, you know, you're allowing these two children to change their plan. You're allowing them to change their plan, to change their, you know, their gender and all that. You're allowing them to think about how they're allowing them to have actual, I want to say, you know, I'm trying to keep the word PC, but it's not going to work, okay? You're allowing them to have actual sexual orientations, okay? Then that they can be, you know, that they can deal with men as men, or they can deal with women as women, okay? But you know, how is that? And you know, even the scriptures talk about this. That Esau's ways, men, they're not balanced, okay? They are unequal. You know, his ways are not equal, okay? That's exactly what this devil does. So that's exactly how this devil works. They are hypocrites. Where, you know, these forgers of lies, right? Physicians of no value, they are hypocrites. Okay. So now let me get another precept. Okay, let me go to another precept. I read the book of Leviticus 18. I read from verse 22. Leviticus 18 verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with humankind. It is an abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Right? That's exactly what this alphabet lifestyle is. Right? Confusion, abomination. Okay. We talk about switching your plumbing, messing with strange flesh. Because that's exactly what it is. Right? Dealing with dealing with that strange flesh. Okay. Dealing with that, doing this kind of abominable acts. Eating unclean food. These are all against immoral. These are all immoral acts, man. But yeah, they are being glorified in Babylon. Some of the most expensive foods that you can eat are from unclean meat. The lobster and all that. Which of course, if they go into the history of lobster, they used to feed it to criminals. So that shows you just how valuable it is. Okay. So now, let me see. Alright. Leviticus 18 verse 24, and it reads, defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. And this is going into what the Canaanites were doing, okay? That's the reason why it's an abomination to the Most High, right? Because this is hidden. They were involved in all these acts that were against the scripture, against the word of the Most High. That's why they have to be destroyed. So I don't know why my nose is very itchy today, but anyway, so Babylon is going to be destroyed as well for that wickedness, okay? And even as much as even up to the extent of actually trying to push that wickedness on other nations, which of course he has done successfully. Because what does the scriptures say? That the nations are drunk, and are drunk, okay? They are drunk for the wine of the fornication. Let me get that. Right, this is the book of Revelation 7. This is the book of Revelation 17 verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So that's basically going into what Babylon the Great, okay? The wickedness. That wine is what the doctrine, the philosophy, which of course includes this alphabet lifestyle, okay? That's another philosophy in Babylon. They'll tell you that it's perfectly normal to be that way. That you are born, with the whole born this way thing. And I think I'm going to have to round up because then it's going into it's looking like it's going into strike territory. Okay, so let me just calm down. Let me just calm down with you. Okay, but basically, they tell you that they were born this way. Okay, they say that they don't feel comfortable in their own skin, so they want to change their plumbing. They want to do all this wickedness to themselves. And of course, even going into the plastic surgery. Okay, like women do the Botox, the liposuction, the boob jobs, the implants. All of that is wickedness. Okay, that's silicone in your chest. Following them Kardashians, Cardi B and them, that put all this silicone in them, put all these chemicals in them, try to make themselves look. They try to make themselves look like I don't even know the word I'm going to see, but basically what they look like is demons, man. And I don't even know the word I'm going to see because if I say that they try to make themselves look attractive, it didn't work, okay. And it's funny. The funny thing is that let me just leave. Let me just leave it at that. Morality is completely gone from this kingdom, man. The thing that's been pushed out here is wickedness. And the funny thing is that these devils, man, they are always hypocritical with this thing. Alright, so now I want to just go into this a little, just go into this real quick, because now my spirit is already hot, and I don't want to stop, man. These devils are always hypocritical with this thing, okay? You always watch these superhero movies, man. And I was just, and before I actually came out here, I was watching some dudes. I was watching my brothers. They were playing Injustice too, okay? And that Injustice, man, and that Injustice, and about the Injustice comic book series. They were basically when what happened is Superman when he decided to become basically when he decided to, when he became righteous. That's all I'll say. Man, Superman had decided to get a little sense, okay? Because what he was doing in that Injustice, that was the right thing, okay? Basically executing criminals, okay? Which of course you should do, because what these people will say, what these heroes always say, that the reason why they don't kill is because they're not the judge, they're not judge, jury, and executioner. So they'll take them to Esau's flawed justice system, all right, where they put in jail and wait for the next prison break. And it's just bad writing, okay? Because it's just something that the creators did so they can reuse the same feelings over and over again without too much of a problem, okay? But in this, but if they were actually righteous, they would know that they would put those, they would take care of those villains, man. But at the end of the day, the majority of those heroes are actually wicked, okay? That is how it always is, because they represent Esau's system, like for example the Golden Boy, that's Superman. He represents Esau's. He's a huge, one of the biggest representations of Edomite supremacy. That's why whenever they make any hero just like him, they always give that blonde hair, blue eyes, the red, white, and blue to represent Babylon. All right, a good example would be that Homelander, because it represents their Edomite supremacy. Okay, that's why the majority of these superheroes, they always look like so-called Edomites, right? Because at the end of the day, these superheroes, they're always allegories for Jake, okay? Because it is Jake that has those spiritual powers. And let me get some presets, because guess what? Superman's whole kit, okay? The super strength, that's in the scriptures. Flying, that's in the scriptures, okay? Laser beams from his eyes, that's in the scriptures, okay? Freezing, the ice breath. Yeah, the ice breath, that one isn't in the scriptures. But if it was breathing fire, is in the scriptures, okay? What else? Super speed is in the scriptures, okay? What else? Invulnerability, that's even in the scriptures as well, right? And I can actually go into different examples to bring this out. For example, the laser beams. We always talk about this, okay? Those are the lasers that will come out from the chariots. But in the scriptures, they always say that it was. And let me get that preset. That is in the book of Second Esdras. No. Revelation, the first chapter. The one I actually wanted to get was the one where he brought out fire from his mouth. But this one in the book of Revelation talks about the fire that was in Yahushai's eyes, which of course is allegorical, because where the fire actually came out from was from the chariots, but it was from the chariots. Okay, but of course we know that Yahushai can't actually bring out lasers from his eyes if he wanted to, right? Because that's part of the cost for, that's the kind of power that we're going to receive in the kingdom. Right now, so the book of Revelation 1, and I'll start from verse 1, right? Because when you bring out this revelation, you have to bring it out from verse 1, and they read Revelation 1, verse 1. Revelation 1, verse 1. The revelation of Yahushai, which the Most High gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servants John. And this is another thing that always gets me with you Christians, man. These Christians, they always talk about how they go into the scriptures. Well, are you Christians? I'm vocal as well. When is your revelation breakdown going to come out? When is your breakdown on the different when is your breakdown on all the books of Revelation coming out, right? You apologists, okay? You vocab and them, okay? Even you other Christians as well. When are your breakdowns on the book of Revelation is going to come out, okay? Because our apostles, our elders, they are doing the breakdowns right now. The breakdowns have already been established since from a long time ago, and now they are bringing it out again, And those breakdowns, guess what? They are still accurate. They still stand. And all of the breakdowns, all the prophecies that they spoke of are already coming to pass. So we're still waiting for you Christians to bring out your own breakdown, because these Christians, they never go into prophecy, okay? That's the one thing, okay? Prophecy is the one thing that will never fail. And it's like I'm coming forward too much, because anyway, but prophecy is the one thing that will never fail, okay? Because what is scripture say, man? That I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to think of a precept, because if you are coming to my mind, of course, Isaiah 55 verse 10, where it talks about how, so shall my word be that going forth out of my mouth, and it shall not return to me void, okay? Where it talks about what else? That's the main one I'm thinking about basically, but I'm trying to think about another precept, because I think there's another precept I can get, though it's sorry, about second chapter, right? That's another one I'm thinking about, but there it is. Isaiah 34 verse 16. Seek ye out of the book and of seek Slakia. Because I'm really excited. Bear with me. That was my bad. Alright, once again, Isaiah 34 verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. Okay, that's precept right there for you, because that will tell you that what these prophecies, they will come to pass. Okay, the prophecies that we speak about will come to pass. That's how you know. Okay, that's how you know that who the men of the Most High are, when their prophecies come to pass. So let me get this precept next. All right, Jeremiah 28. Okay, let me get that. Let me also use the physical Bible for a little bit, because a lot of people, a lot of brothers don't even go into they don't bring out the physical Bible anymore. They don't go into the scriptures anymore, because they don't go into the actual, physical paperback Bible anymore. They always use the phone, which of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But the reason why I won't bring out this Bible, man, is because Jake here in Nigeria are still a little bit analog, so I can't just keep only use my phone to go into the scriptures. If they don't see an actual physical Bible, they aren't going to believe that I'm actually preaching the word. They're going to think that I just bring this out from somewhere else, because that is how little Christians know about the actual scriptures, man. Just because people out here, a lot of people actually still think I'm crazy. But anyway, that's how little Christians actually go into the scriptures. When you can bring out a precept from the Bible, alright, and they don't even know that it's from the Bible. They're like, they think that it's actually from the Bible. It's actually from the Bible. Then I have to actually show them the actual Bible, show them the passage where it came from, and they still don't believe. That's a damn thing, okay? And yet they'll call themselves Christians. They'll say that, oh, I follow the Bible. Oh, I follow God and Jesus Christ. They don't even know shit from what's written in the scriptures, man. But anyway, Jeremiah 28 verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's right, okay? That's exactly what we're out on the highways and byways to do. To preach the downfall and the destruction of this kingdom, okay? This kingdom, the days of this kingdom are numbered. Many tekel uparsin, okay? They're going back to the book of Daniel, That's exactly what the men, alright, starting from Noah all the way up down to now, the apostles, the elders, the brothers, me, alright, that's what we're doing right now, preaching the downfall and the destruction of this current kingdom, okay? And the raising up of our kingdom that will continue forever and have no end. The kingdom of our Lord Yahweh Shai. Alright, so now we are calling our people to repent. That's you Israelites, okay? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, alright? Now you should repent and come out to the Most High and His Son. And I usually come out here because it's less and quiet, but people are actually out here today, okay? It's Saturday, so a lot of people are coming out here to jog, they're coming out here to jog, to do sports, to do business, okay? Because I always talk about this, how there's a market right behind me over there, okay? But nobody ever stops to hear this word, man. Nobody ever decides to let me just come out here and see what these men are prophesying about, alright? But anyway, what I was saying is that what all the prophets, all the men that have ever prophesied, they always prophesied against kingdoms, alright, and even going as far as prophesied against their own kingdom, because you have prophets that prophesied against our people, right? Like for example, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, okay, Isaiah, they prophesied against our people, saying that what? That we would go into captivity. Right? The famous Jeremiah 7 verse 14. Telling us that we will forget our heritage. Okay, even Moses prophesied against our people, because guess what? Okay, and so I have to say that again, because I'm not sure that I'm not sure that you heard that clearly. Okay, even Moses prophesied against our people. The famous Deuteronomy 28. That was a prophecy from Moses. Okay, so, okay, 1 to 15, going into what would happen if we kept the commandments of the Most High, all the good blessings, all the good, the blessings that we would receive. And then 15 to 68, going into the curses, and you can see that the curses are more than the blessings, okay, because the Most High already knew that we were going to go off. Even it was even prophesied that we would go off, okay. Most mentioned it that we would go off, okay. Even the prophet Joshua said that we would go off, Most I already knew that we would go off. It was already planned from the beginning that we would go off. It was all for the sake of achieving that perfection. The infamous, like for example, now the apostles, they always bring out Romans the 8th chapter, where it talks about how the creature was made subject to vanity, not by his own will, by him that made the creature. Okay, for the so that the same will be subject to hope. All right, that is going into that's roughly paraphrasing it, and that hope is our Lord Yahushua, because the scriptures also say that our Lord Yahushua is our hope. Going close to it with the against But anyway, alright, Jeremiah 28 verse 29. Jeremiah 28 verse 9, and this is the point. Jeremiah 28 verse 9. The prophet, Jeremiah 28 verse 9. The prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh has truly sent him. Okay, so I tell you that was until that, when the word that prophet speaks comes to pass, then shall you know that the Most High actually sent him. All right. So now the question is, whose words have come to pass? Okay, out of the men are out here, that prophesied to all the churches, all the religions, all the doctrines, all the philosophy that you see out here. And of course, you know that there's only one prophetic book, okay, that deals with. There's only one religious book that deals with prophecies. And let me do that, okay? Because the Apostle Paul has actually said it before, that what is the number one prophetic book? And let me do that as well. Guess what? The number one book, the number one prophetic book, the number one religious book, okay? The number one book in general, the number one book of wisdom, even. Because even these. As I was saying, because even these atheists and even these atheists and even these people that actually that might not believe in the scriptures, guess what? They still hold these scriptures in high regard, man. That's how the book of Eli was made, Because he said that what the book, they were looking for the scriptures. Out of all the books that have been written, right? Out of all the books that exist out there, the only books that they are focused on were the scriptures, okay? Because that's plain, because what? Of the history, the wisdom in that book, man. Because guess what, okay? If there was a reason to preserve any book on the whole earth, guess the book that would be that would be the top priority to preserve, the scriptures, man. Because whatever book that is out there, the book of Enoch, right, the negative confessions, the Eluma Elish, okay, the book of the Enuma Elish, okay, the book of Gilgamesh, okay, the Quran, whatever book they want to use. They don't compare to the scriptures, okay? They don't compare to this book, okay? Let me bring it out. Now, they don't compare to this book, okay? No book can be mated with the scriptures. The scripture, no book can be compared to the Bible. All right, so now let me bring that out. Number one prophetic book. article here for the most read books in the world, and I have number one as the Quran. And that's just just important. So try to make it seem like the Bible is less read than the Quran. Alright, which of course, the funny thing is that they say that it's the Quran because, and let me actually go back to that, okay? Because they say that the first most read book is the Quran, and the second being the King James edition of the Bible, okay? Because you already know that the Bible has multiple translations, okay? And this is how Esau works. You try to twist, okay? The truth. To try to twist the truth. Okay, this is how Esau propaganda works. Alright, he tries to twist the truth and by giving you half truth. To say that the Bible isn't the most read book, okay, because the Bible has different versions, and we're calculating the most read book based on the versions. But at the end of the day, the Holy Bible, okay, this book is the most read book, okay. But you say that the most read book is actually the King James. The most read book is actually the Quran, followed by the King James Bible. The King James version of the Bible. All the other versions are being read. But we're focusing on the Bible, of course, is the most read book, but the Bible is in different versions. Okay, so that's why they don't want to use the Bible as the most read book. Okay, and I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find them. But now Isa doesn't want to bring it out again. It doesn't want to come out again. The other thing I'm seeing here is Numbers. In the book of Numbers, I want to talk about prophecy is always going into Bible. That's all you see out here, man. The scriptures, okay. And the funny thing is that they say you was going to they call it the Bible, but at the end of the day, all the word Bible means is book, okay. They want to say it in the Hebrew, but it's Padash Sapar or Sapar Padash, Bible holy or book holy or holy book. I think it's Sapar Padash. That's basically what that Holy Bible means in the Hebrew. But these are the scriptures are the most read book, okay? The highest level of prophetic book, okay? And that's why we, the men of the Most High, we always go into the scriptures, okay? That's why we always go into the scriptures, okay? Because this is the prophetic, this is the main book right here. There's no other book that can compare to it, okay? There's no other book that we need to go into, okay? And now we read out of that book and we prophesy from that book, okay? And now we can see clearly that the scriptures don't lie. What are you seeing? These prophecies are coming to pass, okay? Even the prophecies that happened before, right, in the past, they are being shown to be true, right? Because Esau, what he will do is that then he will read a passage in the Bible, and then he'll try to find the relics to prove that actually happened, and then he'll find it, okay? Because a good example would be the Meshach Stele, right? That is a Moabite stone that documents King David, okay? Esau has relics going into the kings of Israel, from King David, about King David, King Solomon, all the kings of Israel. Esau has relics about them, okay? Esau even has relics about the flood story, okay? The chariots in Egypt that were buried in the Red Sea. Esau has found, they found them, okay? They know where they were. The flood story about Noah and the ark. They found the relics of them, and you can look all these things up. They say that place in Turkey where Noah's ark landed, okay? Where Noah's ark landed, they turned it into a tourist site. So you can actually go there and see it for yourself, It's just showing that the words in these scriptures, man, the words are the truth, okay? So the men that are out here pushing the most truth, bringing out the words of the scriptures, okay? The whole book, everything about the scriptures, including the prophecies, including the history, okay? Not just bringing out only prosperity doctrine, okay? The doctrine of telling you that everything is going to be okay. The whole we shall overcome doctrine that you always hear about in plantation Christianity. But the men of the Most High are bringing out the 100%, the 144% truth, okay? That 100% amount, that truth that that he may run that readeth it. That kind of truth that gets you, that burns up your spirit, that hits you right in the spirit, man. That's how you know that you are dealing with the men of the Most High. Right? So let me just get that Habakkuk. Since I quoted it, I quoted it. Let me get it. That's all that we're out here to do, man. To bring out this word, okay? I feel like I was actually trying to go into something before, but I completely forgot what it is now. So I just keep on going into this. I just have to forget about it. Right, go into something else. So okay, I mean this breeze. Let me just forget about going into it in the let me just use the phone. And that's the reason why this phone is convenient, then, because now if I get hit by the wind, you don't have to worry about it being difficult to look for, to find the preset that you're looking for. You can just get it real quick, okay? The book of Habakkuk 2, and I'll start from verse 1. Habakkuk 2 verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And that is something else right here, okay? Because here you have the men of the Most High, okay? The elders, the apostles, the brothers in GMS. You have them that they are actually watching. They are watching the news, watching what is going on the earth, watching everything that is happening, so they can bring out reports about it. Warn the flock that this is coming pretty soon. You have brothers that watch that are watching for information, for any new information concerning the jab, or concerning the MOB, concerning World War III, concerning any prophecy out here, man. Just to warn our people, okay? They are constantly standing there watching, okay? We're watching so they can actually warn our people of the things that are coming. Right? There are brothers that stay on they watch the news and what they filter the news, right? Through the scripture to warn the sheep about about the plans of this devil. Right? That's why that's why the scripture says that we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, because the Most High revealed his secrets, okay, through his servants, the prophets. And guess what? Esau's secrets aren't Esau's secrets, okay? They're the Most High secrets, and that's why we know exactly what you devils are planning. That's why we know about your secret councils, okay? That's why we know what you say, or when you meet up in your secret councils, in your UN general meetings, that you think that nobody's watching you. Guess what? The Most High is watching you, man, and he relays that information to the prophets. That's how we know about your Israelite removal acts. That's how we know about your New World Order. That's how we knew that the mark of the beast is the RFID microchip. That's how we knew about this job and its wickedness, okay? Because the Most High revealed all these things to us, okay? So there's nothing in your kingdom, right? There's nothing that goes on in your kingdom that the prophets don't know about, alright? Because the angels are watching, and the angels and the Spirit has revealed all that to the prophets, okay? So now, continuing. Habakkuk 2 verse 2. And Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. That is plain, okay? So now we have everything that we have received from the Most High, all the visions, all the prophecies, okay, all the secrets that we received from the Most High. We now do what? We do these video epistles, okay, to break it down so that it can be understandable, make it plain upon tables. And when we do that, then it hits the spirit of our people, okay? Because this word, what does the scripture say? That is in the book of Hebrews 4, verse 12. Because at the end of the day, whether our people get this, whether our people get it or not, this word will stick with them forever. And that's something that's that's something that these students don't understand. Whether they actually receive the word or not, it doesn't matter. As long as the word has gone into your spirit, man. As long as the word has gone into your spirit, it will stay with you forever. Okay. In the book of Hebrews 4, verse 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Alright, so this word goes deep into your soul, man. This word, it goes deep into your spirit, okay? So that you have that spirit to actually receive the word or not. At the end of the day, it's still going into your spirit, man. That's why our people, whether they hear of or bear, it does not matter, okay? Because at the end of the day, whether they hear from here, it doesn't matter, because as long as you've heard this word, you are still subject to that destruction, you are still subject to that judgment. As long as this word has gone out, you are still subject to that judgment, because at the end of the day, you should have, you should have sought after the word. But we already know that, the most time, the people that will receive this word are the ones that the most actually wants to receive it, okay? Because you cannot surrender, you cannot decide to flow Yahweh Shimi Osha. You cannot decide to surrender your soul. Because here in Nigeria, we have this song that we always sing. And I've decided to follow Cesare Borgia, okay? But now, you cannot make that, nobody makes that decision, okay? Even the people that follow Jesus Christ, that follow Cesare, right? They didn't make that decision, okay? It was the Most High that made it for them, all right? Because what do we always say? We say that what? There is no such thing as free will, okay? All men on the earth are subject to the will of the Most High. There is the Most High that controls our will, okay? We have no control of our own will. There's no free will on this earth, all right? So like I had to check whether I was still recording. But as I was saying, there's no free will on this earth, okay? We're all subject to the will of Yahweh Shimi Oshai, right? No, and no one else, okay? We don't have free will, okay? I was going back to the book of Habakkuk, second chapter, and now when you get this word, as I was saying that the word it will hit your spirit, okay? And basically what I was going into was the word it goes into our people's spirit, okay? Whether they are righteous or two-thirds. And guess what? The only people that can receive this word are the Israelites, okay? I'm not going to go deep into that, because I can, because that is a whole, not even a whole lesson, that is basically the foundation of our doctrine, okay? The foundation of the covenant is that it was given to our people, the Israelites, okay? Only Jacob, only the Israelites, all right? Because another one of the follies of Christianity is that to tell you that all people can be saved, everybody can get this word, everybody can receive it, everybody can receive salvation. But that's not true, right? Because what the scripture says, let me get that. Let me get this one first. Romans 11 verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn ungodliness from Jacob. Now let me say that again. Romans the 11th chapter, the 26th verse. In other words, the New Testament. Alright, and these are the words of the Apostle Paul to the Romans, which will show you that these Romans were actually Israelites scattered in Rome. Because this word was to the Israelites in Rome. Romans that were Israelites, okay? And he was telling them that what? Our people Israel are the ones that will be saved, okay? Our Lord Yahushua came for the Israelites and the Israelites only. Romans 11 verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion, that was Israel, alright, the deliverer, and shall turn ungodliness from Jacob, okay, which is what? Only the Israelites, okay? Jacob is what? The Israelites, okay? So now Romans 11, once again, verse 7, and it reads, Romans 11 verse 7, what then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded, okay? That is that what? This is only dealing with Israel. Alright, Israel has not obtained what? The truth. Alright, this mercy, salvation, okay? But the elect of Israel, okay, the Israel of the Most High, the Israel that is in Israel has obtained it, and the rest of the Israelites, alright, not you heathen, alright, not you heathen, okay, because you heathen, you can't even obtain it, you can't even be blinded because your eyes are never even open, okay? But our people have not obtained it because what? They were blinded by the Most High, okay? Now Romans 11 verse 8, according as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And the Most High has put majority of our people in that state of sleep, in that state of slumber, where they don't even get, where they can't even get this truth, even if they wanted to, man. And that's why they have to give up prison and glory on, how about that managed to get this truth, man? Because that's not a small feat on its own, that you are choosing to receive this. Well, that's a huge blessing right there. And that's why we pray to the Most High that what? I mean, That's why we pray to the Most High, we give that diligence, make our calling and election sure, so that we can be saved, we can actually be delivered, okay? Because we don't want to, after having these truths, die the same death as unbelievers, suffer the same fate as Esau, Edom, and the heathen. Right? We want to actually be delivered, we want to be saved, okay? We want to be out of the elect. That's why we do everything in faith, okay? That's why we are following how about Shimi or Shai. That's why we are doing this work. That's why we're on the highways and byways preaching this word. Right? That's why we are following the words of the scriptures to the best of our ability, in order to be saved, in order to receive that salvation. I don't think it's okay for me to be behind the sun like this, so let me turn this camera a little bit. So that, yeah, I just noticed it right now that my image isn't really that clear. So let me just stay like this, okay? I shouldn't be facing, I shouldn't be behind the sun like that, so that you can actually see my face and my body, my figure clearly. That I'm not advertising or anything, but just because I don't want to obscure my image, but I don't want to make my image unfair. But anyway, go back to what I was talking about. Okay, hold on. I threw in my own train of thoughts, So okay, I threw in my own train of thoughts. But anyway, as I was saying, that's the reason why we're out here, man. Because of that faith that we have in Yahweh Hashim Yahushai. Okay, let me get this preset right quick. Okay, I haven't gone to this in a while. This is a preset, okay. So I have to go to it, because I just got reminded of it. Hebrews the 11th chapter. I mean, the sun is really coming out right now, But anyway, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, okay. As scripture says, man. I forgot how it goes. Basically all things. Let me see if I can get that. All things bright and beautiful. The Most I made them. I think that's how it goes. Let me get that. Okay, I'm still trying to find out preset, okay? Like I'm still trying to find a preset. I guess I'm thinking about something else. I can't find this, okay? I can't find this. Maybe I'm mixing it up. But anyway, there's another piece that I want to bring out. That I said I was. This is the work of the Most High. It is beautiful in our sight. Okay, so let me bring out that one instead. I can't even find that piece of it either. But basically, that piece goes, this is the work of the Most High. It is beautiful in our sight, man. So everything, that's basically it, man. Everything on the earth, man, is beautiful. The things that the Most High has created, okay. And guess what? When we're in the kingdom, man, we're able to appreciate that even more than where we are now, because I usually go on. There's this subreddit. Nature is the nature is effing lit, the F1 and lit, okay? Where they show you all these beautiful sights in nature, man, and you see all the things that the Most High has created, and it's beautiful, man. Yeah, let me try another word. We actually got this picture before, but I can't remember how it goes. So actually, I still can't find it. But anyway, what I was saying that this because and you see that what this whole world and all the things that are in it, and all this world and all the things that were in it, right, they were created by the Most High, and Scripture says in under was 6 days, okay, which is basically 6,000 years, and a 7th day of rest, okay, but we're going to another 6,000 years. We created everything that you see out here, man. Even just as the world is right now, even though Israel is in rulership and even with all its wickedness, the world is already beautiful. You already have sights that are beautiful, beautiful to behold. Like for example, when you go out into the sea, okay, when you look at the sunset, all these various things, when you see them beautiful as hell, right? Like a good example in the northern hemisphere, you have this aurora borealis, okay, they are northern lights. And you see, those countries that are super close to the North Pole, those kind of things. And then I imagine how much more beautiful other things that you see will be in the kingdom, Man, but are you ready for what the Most High is preparing for us in the kingdom? Man, we know that everything that is going to be a sight to behold. Okay? The kingdom is going to be what? It's going to, as the scripture says, man, I was just even saying that what? That in his right hand are pleasures eternal. In other words, that's how the kingdom is going to be, man. Consistently with those pleasures, okay? Don't be able to find those pieces really mess you up. I don't want to start going into a deep search for them. So I'm probably just going to go into something else. So I'm trying to think, hold on. And things have like, what I was going to say was that, going back to what I was talking about in the beginning of this, man. Yeah, let's, so actually, when they say tongue tied, but let me go back to that. Let me go into something else. Okay. Now let me go into a completely different topic. Let me focus on some of these these are I'm getting ready to close out. Let me just do a little segment on these Christian philosophies out here, man. Alright? You have a lot of these you have a lot of these transition Christians out here, they have such a and I'm totally close right now. I don't have anything else to bring out, because I don't have anything else to bring out, and I'm really done. And I'm really done what. I'm really here for like what 40 minutes, an hour maybe. I don't even do anything, okay. Even going like that. Yes, basically, man, you know, Slovakia, man, because Slovakia, I can't think of anything else to bring out. You know, there's a lot of things to go into, but you know, there's a lot of other things to go into, but I don't really want to go into them. Maybe I'll do that lesson later on. I want to actually think of a different topic to go into. I don't want to just stand here. I don't want to just stand here, looking at going through the scriptures, trying to bring out something else. All right, so let me just quickly end it right here. Okay, so with that, let's give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Rachaf, Wadash, Wa Abad, Babal, Shalawam. I'm a little bit embarrassed that I only did 1 hour, man. But anyway, let me just end it here.